And there I am. Hello, how are you? How are you this evening? Or in Australia this morning? Whatever it happens to be, welcome. My name is Ian J. Barker, aka Samuel. You can see it down there in the bottom of the stream. And just to kick things off, I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction about me because I'm going to guess that most of you have never seen me before in your life. I'm willing to bet a lot of money on that. Like I said, my name is Ian Barker. I live in Ames, Iowa. I attended Iowa State University where I received a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. I'm currently a customer success manager at Web Filings in Ames, Iowa, a up-and-coming little company that deals with SEC filings and other exciting adventures like that. It's a really good company, so if my employers happen to watch this, know that I'm being facetious when I say that it's boring, but it's actually really exciting, and I enjoy my job. But what you're seeing on stream right now is what I would call my passion. I've been a gamer my whole life. It started out when I was very little. I would play Earthbound. I would wake up before my parents on a Saturday morning just so my brother and I could get some solitary game time before they jumped up and my father wanted to watch the boring news or whatever. It was our time to shine, and we loved every second of it. Headed into middle school and high school, video games just became a bigger and bigger part of my life. I had a friend who had a PlayStation when I didn't, and he and I would play Final Fantasy Tactics. We played Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, all the classic. I guess we played a lot of Final Fantasy at that time. I really didn't even think about that till now. But basically, games grew and became a bigger part of my life until I became a big Halo fan. When I was in high school, a big part of my identity came from my prowess in Halo, and I'm proud to say that I was the best among my friends. Then I went online and figured out how good the rest of the world is. That didn't end well. Anyway, that's what's really brought me here. I've had a passion for gaming for a long time, and just a few years ago I stumbled upon esports. I found some old broadcasts from Major League Gaming from when Gears of War was actually on the Major League Gaming circuit, so just dinosaur by competitive gaming standards. But immediately I knew this is something that I'm excited about. I've been a long-time sports fan, and so combining sports, and my favorite thing in the world, gaming, seemed like the most incredible opportunity ever. It'd be like if you were a huge fan of spaghetti and baby seals and somebody dumped a plate full of, and a baby seal delivered a plate of spaghetti to you. That's what esports is to me. That's what esports is in my life. And so basically, I'm here streaming for that reason. This has led me to this path. Eventually, as I said in a couple of my posts on some of my social media, I said my dream is to become an esports caster someday. If I'm going to relate my big dream, it would be to eventually do a broadcast the grand finals of the League of Legends World Championship Series. I think that would just be the most incredible thing in my entire life. And then the rest of my life would be a steady decline until I died. So help me reach my peak so I can start my descent. It's gonna take some work. Got some other things coming up in the future besides this stream. I've got some projects in the works. I won't give away too much about that right now, but needless to say, I've got some big things going on, and I hope you want to stick around for the ride because I'm pretty excited about them. I wanted to give a quick rundown of some of the things that I do. I'm a writer for ESFI World. It's currently where I ply my trade. I write editorial articles under the moniker World Class. That's my blog on there. So if you ever want to find my pieces on there, go ahead and look. Some services that I provide. I'm happy to write. I love writing. It's not a job. It's a hobby. It's extremely entertaining. It's cathartic. It's pubescent. It's just so many more multisyllabic words I can't bring to mind right now. I love writing, and so if you would like me to write like a report or even just kind of give like a journalistic perspective on, say your clan war or your local esports event, I would be happy to do so as long as you've got a live stream. I can't leave Ames. The other thing I want to offer is if you like what you see here tonight, if you like my broadcasting, I want to provide my services for the community. The entire reason I'm doing this is to give back to the community that's done so much for me. And so if you have like a clan war or a tournament or something like that, and you think that I have the talent to cast your event, I am not only incredibly humbled but incredibly enthusiastic for the opportunity to do so. So, just let me know if that opportunity becomes available, and I will be happy to lend you my microphone, my enthusiasm, and my bad jokes. I wanted to talk real quickly about the website. I just launched this today. I wanted to have a central place where I could post all my content. If people wanted to find it or past broadcasts, then they could find that there. You'll find it at the bottom of the page. Right there, ianjbarker.weebly.com. I agree that the domain kind of sucks, but I'm working on that. I am learning about name hosting and whatever other terminology I don't know about yet, and I'm going to get that fixed. It's going to be more understandable, and you're going to be able to get to it easier. But in the meantime, I've got it down there for your reference. If you want to check out some of my past blog articles, or just stop by and say hi, just let me know. Again, and my contact information is there in case you want to enlist any of my services, which again would humble me greatly. I'm doing this for the love of the thing. If I could do it and help you out in some way, I would be more than happy to do so. So now I'll just talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. In the title of the stream, it says practice casting. And you think, what, Ian? What is practice casting? I don't even know what practice casting is. And I can't blame you, or your incredibly hunched shoulders, for wondering what practice casting is. It's not a term I've seen a whole lot, but the idea is that I want to become a broadcaster. But I'm not very good yet, or at least I don't feel that I'm very good. I see guys like Jat and Rivington III, and or like Toby Wan over at Dota, and I just see the incredible amount of skill and knowledge that they bring to the games that they broadcast, and I want to hone my trade and reach their level. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the League of Legends client. I'm just going to go in, and in that front section where it says spectate game, and it just picks some random game, I'm going to go in there and spectate one of those games. I'll try to catch things up to speed and provide a little bit of a prediction about the team, how I think the game will unfold with the team compositions based on what I see in the loading screen. And then we'll just get into it, and I'll do my thing. I'll try to make it entertaining for you. I'll try to drop some knowledge bombs if that's what you're here to look for. And overall, I just want to have fun. I want to have fun with you guys. I want to provide you some entertainment on a slow Tuesday night, if that's what you're having. And so I'm glad you tuned in, and I'm excited to get started. So that is it for the introduction. What we're going to do is we're just going to log into the League of Legends client. Just make sure the stream looks okay. Yep, it does. I did my hair today for just such a special occasion because you people are beautiful, and I want to do my best for you. And here we've got a handful of games. I'm just going to pick one that's early on enough, because if you jump too far in, we lose a lot of the context. And here we've actually got one with Hotshot GG playing LeBlanc. That's about all you could ask for these days. I'm going to spoil things a little bit. Hotshot GG LeBlanc for a while now. And I spectated a couple of his games a while ago. I'm not a partner on Twitch, so it doesn't save my videos, and I didn't know that. And so a lot of the stuff that I put out over the past couple weeks has just kind of evaporated into the ether. But one of those games was Hotshot GG playing on LeBlanc. For those of you who don't know who Hotshot GG is, he was a professional League of Legends player for the team Counter Logic Gaming. Here you can see their logo right there. And he was quite good, but eventually he just kind of fell out of the meta and decided that it wasn't for him anymore, and he is no longer with the team. So we're just going to take a look at the team compositions real quick. In the AD carry, we have Officer Caitlyn on Latman, Hotshot GG manning the mid with Mistletoe LeBlanc, Warren King's German the fourth. I had no idea that was the name of the skin. On Aerodactyl, I've actually seen him play before too, and he's quite good. Aatrox on top, played by Halmzer, and Pullion playing the appropriately named Pullion on Blitzcrank in the bottom lane, playing solo support. Running down the other lane, we have A and B playing the Twitch, X Hazard playing the Zac. I've seen him juggle before. He's actually quite talented. Alex the Man playing support on Zilean. Arma playing Shyvana in the jungle. And God MIA. Hope that's not religious commentary, because I would really hate to offend anybody with that right now. Playing the Renekton in the top lane against the Aatrox we see there. So I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of a rundown about the team compositions. This is something I would normally do before the game starts, but we're not gifted with that opportunity. I'm just jumping into the middle of things. What I see coming out of the blue side is a lot of dive potential. I've been analyzing some Gambit games lately, and people frequently ban the Aatrox against them and try to keep the aggressive junglers out of the way of them because they run because that dive composition is extremely potent, especially in solo queue, where all it takes is a little bit of coordination to pull blood from the stone and really make a difference early on, open up those opportunities and make things happen. Again, we're just going to let this happen. Alex the Man going down to Palion down there. Oh, it's Palion, not Pullion. My apologies. I want to credit these people I've never met with at least their 15 seconds of fame in the proper way. What I see on the other side is a lot of survivability. That Renekton's mobility and tankiness, as well as Zac's ability to kind of knock people up with a lot of tankiness. I feel like there's a lot of initiation potential between Zac, Renekton, and Shyvana to really get in there and make a difference. And then Twitch will kind of keep himself safe with the stealth behind that, and kind of develop as an AD carry as the game goes along. And then Zilean provides a little bit of extra survivability with that ult, and then with the slow and the obvious distribution of damage, that's going to make a big difference. So taking a look and seeing how things are going on, it looks like the blue team. Oh wow, I didn't even look at the kills yet. It's 7-0, 7 minutes and 15 seconds in. Things are going extremely well for the blue team. No turrets down yet, but about a 3k gold lead. This dive composition obviously playing extremely well, and it makes sense because when you go against a dive composition, you really have two options. You can either form a wall and never allow anybody to get past you, the river or the turrets. Keep your lanes pushed, keep your junglers active in the top and the middle lane to keep things from happening, and then keep that duo lane bot going and keep the pressure up. Or you can run them out of map space by taking their turrets early and pushing early. Where is the Ahmed pop the passive on the Aatrox? And here we see actually A and B and Alex the Man chasing down Lightman in the bottom. Caitlyn is not in too big a trouble, but the expunge obviously not going off because Twitch is out of range. She will get away safely. Blitzcrank can award the jungle. And checking in the mid, it looks like Zac, is he actually not jungling? Zac is actually not jungling. That's actually my mistake. I should have paid attention to the smite. We've got a Zac middle, which is a really unconventional pick. I'll be interested to see how that works out for him. Currently, he's only building defensive items. He's got that Doran shield as well as the Negatron cloak, but he's going up against the LeBlanc that has a lot of assassination capability, and I kind of wonder if they saw the LeBlanc and decided maybe we could go tanky against it, which is an interesting way to operate that mid lane. I will say that's not a strategy that I've seen a whole lot. Handing the blue buff over to Hotshot GG is going to make a big difference in this lane as he's already snowballing pretty hard with 3 kill. I'm sorry, with looks like one kill. I need to get these lanes mismatched a little bit. Go ahead and put Aatrox at the top. Get that organized. Bot and Renekton up top. There we go. Okay. So it looks like LeBlanc hasn't really fully taken over yet. Xhazard doing a good job in this middle lane with the Zac. The defensive capabilities of the Zac, his ability to escape. Although Jarvan coming in, he's actually going to toss the flag down and put out the shield. He's going to hit out Xhazard, and the chain actually goes out, stopping him in place. The Cataclysm is actually going to come out, stopping Zac in his tracks. They're going to take down the Blob. It's no problem. A good gank out of this blue team that's already putting themselves quite a ways ahead. And now it's actually going to jump in with Dragon Form. A bold move, but A and B's here too. Going with the Spraying Prayer, trying to take down Aerodactyl, but it looks like all they managed to get is a little bit of push in the mid lane, as there's plenty of support here for the blue team. Going to keep them safe. It was a good counter initiation, a good way to push the lane back. Otherwise, they would have lost a turret on the back of that. And actually, the blue team taking down this turret on the bottom. Caitlyn actually pushing that out. And with the rotation to the middle, it just makes sense. Caitlyn doesn't have anything to oppose her, so she's going to push that lane all the way up. It was curious to see how far she's going to be willing to go, though. Twitch actually coming through the jungle will try to intercept this. And Zilean coming with him, but it looks like she'll probably be fine. She's got that 90 caliber net. I believe it's the 90 calibers. How many calibers is that? 90 caliber net. My memory's starting to serve me better, because for the first few times that I did this casting, it did not go so well. And there's the flash, the grab. Zilean is in a lot of trouble. Alex the Man will fall, but he pops the ultimate on himself. Not a prudent play in my opinion, because he's still got a lot of walk down, but then he will pop the haste and he will get out of there. A good use of the ultimate, but that is no longer available, denying Latman the kill. Caitlyn obviously snowballing pretty hard, and A and B taking the damage for Alex the Man, but here comes Jarvan to knock up the hit. The barrier coming out from A and B. LeBlanc does manage to get both kills, a huge swing in momentum, as if things weren't already going blue team's way. LeBlanc now up to 4 kills. That snowball rolling down the hill, already making its presence known. The blue team looks like they'll back off of this and go for the dragon instead. Meanwhile, up top, Aatrox proxy farming, just trying to just really shut down GodMI. I mean, GodMI is about 36 CS down from this, so it's just going to become a real problem as if it isn't already. My apologies, I just thought I heard my phone ringing. Anyway, Hotshot GG is going to throw the chains down on Xhazard. We're actually going to stop him. Going to throw out what's it called? The Q, Citadel of Silence, and that will actually stop in his tracks, prevent a little bit of that escape, but he will obviously potion up and get out because of Zank's inherent tankiness. Blue team will take this dragon, pushing their gold lead to about 7,000. I've said this before in previous casts, I'll say it now. I'm not the kind of broadcaster who wants to give up on a game too easily. I believe that there's always an opportunity to come back. I believe in League of Legends as that game where you can come back and use the mechanics and the teamwork to your advantage. And actually, Hotshot finding himself in a lot of trouble. The mirror image will pop, but Arma is not phased. He will jump in, but there goes the jump. Oh my god. See, folks, this is what happens when you don't practice casting for a while. Hotshot will barely make it out by the skin of his teeth with only 81 HP. Lucky to get out of there. Great play by Hauntzer to come into the middle and distract them a little bit, getting their HP down just enough that wandering into that bush is just a little bit risky for them. So the thought I was trying to complete as the blue team takes down this turret is I don't want to be one of those casters that looks at things and says, well, they lost that level 1, it looks like it's over. Because as much as I respect certain casters for their ability to take a look at the game and see that far down the road, I think it's a little pessimistic and most of all extremely unentertaining to be told at minute 5 of a 40-minute game that things are about to end any second now. It gets pretty old. Here you see Alex the Man with the ult already down actually manages to haste himself out of there. Arma and Hexazard will bring themselves into the jungle. Palion apparently has had enough of that, and so is Hauntzer and Aerodactyl. They got what they came for. They got the turret, and so they're obviously going to back off from that. So along the lines of my casting philosophy that things can get better, that things can improve, that I believe in this game, let's discuss how the purple team is going to climb Mount Everest. The first problem they're going to have to deal with is this Hotshot GG. The snowballing, 4 kills, 3 kills on Jarvan and 3 kills on the Aatrox. They have an incredible ability to jump in and make the jumps count. They're going to hurt when they get into this lane, or when they get behind the turret. But the question I have is, do they have the tankiness to withstand the turrets? And if we take a look at the items, we've got, looks like the Void Staff, that's right, Deathfire Grasp. I forgot they changed the art on that. The Deathfire Grasp onto LeBlanc. I mean, the goal for LeBlanc is going to be able to jump in, do a bunch of damage and burst, and then get out. So I'm not worried about LeBlanc necessarily. Where they need to find the kills is probably going to be on Caitlyn. If they can take one damage dealer out, they've got part of the puzzle solved. Hotshot GG is going to come in here. There's a Sigil of Silence that chains and there's the ulti from Caitlyn. Actually, barely not going to take him down. Arma the Ignite just barely ticking out. Hotshot GG just making it known that anywhere that you go that isn't warded, I will do something about it. But at this point, I wonder what they're going to be able to do, because with the Palion on the Blitzcrank, they're going to be able to initiate whenever they want. Because what I'm relying on in this analysis is the fact that the dive composition is going to try to get behind the turrets. At this point, with the addition of the Blitzcrank, that's not a problem. There we go. See the grab on A and B. The chain's actually coming out. The Sigil of Silence. Here comes Xyzer jumping in, just trying to put a little bit of defense up. The Aatrox knocks him up, and there we go. The Let's Bounce is barely going to stop him just for a second, but getting blobbered by the flag from Jarvan. And here comes the rest of the team into the team fight, the knock-up and the shield. The jump in the Cataclysm catches 3. LeBlanc jumping in, trying to go for that deep dive. Aerodactyl doing as much damage as he can as Aatrox continues to put out damage. No kills off that three-man gank, but at the same time, they managed to push them back, let them know that they're here. They managed to get a kill on the AD carry, which is important because he's going to be stalled even further, as if being down 35 HP, and actually LeBlanc actually gets the kill in the middle of the base. And there goes Hauntzer and A&B trying to come out and do something about this. With the combined lockdown of Hotshot GG's Sigil of Silence and Hauntzer's knockup, it's just not going to make a difference. Here we go. Renekton actually chasing down Aatrox. Going to stun him just for a second. And there's the swipe and there's the dash. He will proc his ultimate. And there he goes. He jumps up with just enough energy in the dash to get out. Going to throw some target or some energy back. Boy. Blades of Torment. See, I'm trying to make up move names on the fly for champions that just came out because I don't know them that well yet. That was not one of my better ones. The knockup on Irma. You see, here's the problem. The dive works both ways. The dive allows them to get in, and they're tanky enough to do something about that, but the dive also allows them to get out. The initiation of the purple team will help out with that, and they've closed the gap in gold to a mere 9,000. But ultimately, you have to wonder, when is enough? When does the snowball gain so much momentum that there's nothing they can do about it? Truth be told, I think it's now. I think now is the time that the snowball has enough momentum. It's just a matter of putting the final nail in the coffin. But this purple team's still playing. There's no surrender vote yet, probably largely because they can't. But hopefully these players give us a bit of a show. give us a bit of a push here. Looks like Renekton's going to push that turret, but coming in right behind him is LeBlanc. He is stuck between a rock and a hard place, a rock and a magic place, and he's just going to dance. He knows that he's dead, especially with 3 rotating top, and the gap closing of Jarvan and Aatrox is going to make such a difference. There's just nothing they can quite do about it. Dark Flight. I apologize. That was not the what's it called? The ultimate. That was the passive of Aatrox. It was procced in the jungle. That's my miscall. I want to acknowledge my mistakes. But overall, things not looking too great for the purple team. Here we see A and B trying to take something, trying to get the first turret of the game, and he does manage to secure that. He has the stealth, which will allow him to get out of the way. Jarvan actually, I thought he was going to move down here and do something about it, but it looks like they're just going to let him split push while they push the middle lane. The reason for that is because they've got Arma absolutely cornered. He will use the bush vision to his advantage and jump out. Great play from him, but ultimately they're just delaying the inevitable. Arma running out using his ultimate form, and now it's not available for the team fight, which is absolutely necessary against a team that's able to close this much distance. Haunter actually goes up top and takes down Zac. Despite his tankiness, there's just nothing they can do about it. Now the blue team will rotate down bottom, chasing after this Zilean, and going to get the Sigil of Silence. There's the chains, and there's the death. Putting the ultimate on himself at the last second, but I don't know if that was a prudent use. He does flash out. Can he use the haste to get out of there? And Blitzcrank guy actually misses. Hotshot GG putting down the chains. Can he get out of here in time? And there's the Sigil of Silence, just in time to take him down. He did his best, but I guess his best wasn't good enough. I'm told that's the South Park quote. I have no way to verify it. I just enjoyed immensely. So the blue team's obviously going to push this middle turret. They're going to take down the inhibitor, and things are starting to get a little crowded in here for the purple team. 17-2, up 9k gold over the purple team. There's just no room to operate. The lanes are pushed in bottom and top, but ultimately, if you can't go through your jungle, which is completely unworded at this point. This team has had to spend all of their money on basic items. And if you look across the items as they stand, you've got Deathfire Grasp on one side, you've got the Infinity Edge on the Caitlyn, and then on the other side, the best thing that you've got is probably the Spirit Visage for the Zac. I mean, Renekton has no farm to speak of, 91 to 162. He's getting beat by 70. Although the purple team does have an opportunity to chase them down. Now here we see the pursuit. The haste actually coming out of X-Hazard. Does he have that ultimate up? He does not. It's just barely out of there. The chain's actually going to stop him in place, and Aatrox actually gets a 3-man knock-up. But is anybody here to follow up with the damage? And Haunter actually taking so much damage. His passive is not up. X-Hazard going down as he gets taken out. Twitch actually taking down Aatrox. The Spray Paint doing so much damage. A and B suddenly finds himself in the back foot. Can they put the ultimate down on him? But no, they can't. Power will take him down. But this team fight actually not going too bad for purple, especially with God MIA's ultimate on. Now X-Hazard will come through the jungle. Zilean trying to scope what he can from the side. But here we see Hotshot GG coming in for the quick kill, and now the slow will become a major problem. The two mirror images still not convincing enough to keep them out of the fight, to keep him safe. The game now stands at 19-6, and with 30 seconds left before the surrender, I'm curious what the purple team is going to do, because frankly, that team fight went as well as it possibly could for a team that's this far behind. And the way it happened is exactly the way that I talked about. We saw the gap closers, the initiators, the profound initiation out of the purple team close the gap between the squishy burst damage of the blue team and the tankiness of the purple team. That hopefully this mid-game, late that fight, now getting the Blade of the Rune King on Twitch. Spirit Visage again up on Zac, like I said. Spirit of the Ancient Golem up on Shyvana, and Renekton's still not with a lot of items to his name. He does have 2.7k gold. I'm just really surprised he hasn't spent it yet. And there's the grab. A and B actually stealthing, so there's nothing they can do about it. They don't have an Oracle's Elixir or a Sight Ward, anything, or a Vision Ward, anything like that. Haunter will run through Alex Nail will run through this jungle. The Haunter knockoff just barely missing. They will put as much damage as he can onto there. The blade's coming through from Aatrox, and at this point, the initiation just is not going to make a difference. The haste getting Zilean out of there, and B will actually stealth himself and run around the turret. But at this point, the blue team are pushing the base. They feel confident. They caught them out in the jungle, and that's exactly what I talked about. Things are getting so crowded for the for the purple team here that there's just no opportunity to go out there and farm anything or initiate any kills. This initiation becomes completely useless if they see you coming. A great ulti in from Arma will actually push this team off just for a little bit, but Haunter in the middle with his passive up, not given a F. And there we go, the passive proc. The cattle, or the oh my god. Cataclysm coming up from Jarvan. I'm trying to finish my sentences the best I can, but Hotshot GG is in the back line, low on health, just finishing everybody off as much as he can. He will get knocked up, but he will jump over across the wall, and now A&B putting a spray and play down on the Laugh Man, just trying to take this Caitlyn out of the fight, trying to get something in the wake of this, and shockingly enough, no one died in this fight. I do not know how that is possible. Xhazard, does he have his passive up? Does he have his passive up? He does have the passives up, so he will get blobbleted, but Aatrox jump in with the blades, and the knockup will make all the difference, and Laughman will survive with just barely any health, including Hotshot GG coming in to finish that off. A great play by this blue team, and you can tell when a team fight goes well because nobody has any health, but nobody's dead. That's an important thing to consider in your own play. Here we see with both turrets down, it's just a matter of time. Blue team going to manage to take down this Nexus, and I gotta say the Hotshot GG LeBlanc OP. He's obviously been using his retirement well, and it's earned him quite the record under LeBlanc. "22 minutes and 12 seconds, 24-7 is the kill score in favor of the blue team. About a 11k gold lead, a 6 turret lead, and most importantly, a 1 Nexus lead. Ultimately, that's what determines the score of the game. So congratulations to the blue team. Hotshot GG OP, not badly played at all. I think that there was an opportunity for the purple team to make a difference in there, but it needed to happen earlier on, and it simply did not. Not a bad game.